Hello there. Today I will discuss another topic about raising your daughter the right way when it comes to making her feel safe around you. Number 1. Don't hug your children or give affection when there is no need for it. It might sound very alien to most people, but if you use hugs as a communication tool or a way to create a bond, then you are setting her up for an easy prey for predators. She will not see the difference between a pervert and someone who is caring even as an adult. Child molesters and perverts always start with hugs. Create a delusion that your daughter is in a safe environment before it becomes abuse. Don't let your emotions get the better of you and smother her with hugs every day, because perverts will use that as a gateway to get close. Perverts can't do much if your kid is only used to giving people a handshake or a high five as a greeting method. Through the lie that they are affectionate, they will strike when the time is right, just like any other predator in the wild. You can bond with your daughter by showing interest in her dream, or find your mutual interest, a hand around her shoulder when she graduates, or simply spin her around when you are at the beach, but please respect her individual space. In the end, she will be thankful. She will not view you as an annoying person who invaded her space, and she will be comfortable enough to even have you around when her friends are over. To keep things short, it's absolute nonsense that children need hugs and affections often in order to grow. They need a teacher, and you can show affection by believing in your child's ability to dream big. Heaps of people grew up with hugs and kisses. Did any one of them become a millionaire? I haven't seen it. Most are spoiled and whiny individuals who have every excuse to be lazy. But I can point out heaps of women who achieve great things because her parents nourished them with wisdom, and are involved in their lives to become great. Unless hugs are on the same necessity level as water, sunlight, food or financial freedom, you don't need it to grow. Number 2. Use rewards to keep her at her best behavior, but don't use it as a leverage to control her. For example, don't ever say to your child, "If you do as I say, then you can have candy." If you use it as a leverage, then perverted or controlling men will do the same to her. You need to understand that what you do to your daughter, they will allow men to do the same to them because you failed to be a role model and chose to be a manipulator instead. Tell your daughter that if she wants to come home a bit later than usual, or wants more pocket money, then make her do the things what's under her responsibility. Excellent behavior, cleaning her room, working out, getting good grades, do the chores, chooses quality over quantity, come home before her curfew ends, fall under her responsibility. If one of those things aren't done, then she knows that the answer is no. Narcissistic men will use that technique to control women, so don't let your daughter be one of those. When I dealt with a narc, I found myself on my knees one day scrubbing the floor instead of using a mop or tie someone else's shoelaces in submission, because I accidentally spilled water on someone. I didn't prepare myself to deal with that type of people, and an apology, offering a handkerchief, should have been enough to be pardoned for a mistake with no ill will behind it. I've always been taught that I need to do what I'm told in order to get privileges, earn forgiveness, or be treated better by humbling myself and allow forms of humiliation to be pardoned. Now I know better. I do what falls under my responsibility in order to get my rights, not what narcissistic people want. A little over a year ago, I dealt with a predator. At first he was nice and had a decent chat. He even bought me a drink, and after some small talk he came closer and said, "If you let me touch you, I'll give you all the money you want." One also asked to send him nudes, and if I do that, then he will share my videos with his 1 million followers. I said no. I was at the mercy of narcissists who used leverages to control me, and I will never let that happen again. So please take my word for it. If you display the same behavior narcissistic or manipulative men show, then you are giving them permission to mistreat her. Be her mother, not her manipulator. And in worst cases, she'll become a manipulator herself. She learned from you, and the apple never falls far from the tree. With other words, your daughter will learn from the best, or she will learn from the worst. Having you as a mother, the outcome of her life is the end product of your competence or incompetence. So make sure you are the best example on this planet, and don't do to her what you don't want the men in her life do with her. Narcissistic men will also use the desire to be forgiven as a leverage to treat her like a doormat, or make up sex to earn a pardon, but in order to avoid giving men that overpower her is to make her aware that if making up sessions include humiliation, submission, favors, money, or be treated like an errand girl, then she should step away from that person. But she won't, because you probably treated her the same way. In order to make it up to someone, she should give the person space with no contact as long as the person needs, take responsibility, and lie in the bed she made until she cleaned up her own mess, but that's it. That's within your responsibility as a woman. Number 3, show her that she should let others have her moment, but they should let her have her moment as well. For example, at the dinner table, don't ask her to stand up to get water for you, get something from the fridge or whatever. Just leave her alone when she's enjoying the dinner. Ask her what you want from her before and after dinner, and expect the same from her too. Not only is it very annoying to interrupt someone to have their dinner in peace, but you are also giving her the idea that she should be at your service, and in the long run the men in her life will treat her with the same regard, and she will just accept it as a part of life. She will not set boundaries that at some parts of the day she needs to be left undisturbed, and will let men even bother her on her day off because she feels it's selfish to say no. Make sure everything you need is in hand reach, or at least at the table. That simple but effective treatment you let her know that her world doesn't revolve around doing things for others, and it's not ignorant to remind the ones that. Number 4, if punishment is needed, don't do it in front of other children. One of the worst feeling you can get is getting hit or sent to your room in front of others. I got in a fight because of a bully, and when I started to hit I got punished and sent to the corner for a very long time out while the bully received no punishment. Some people think it's funny to see other kids being punished. Some even see it as an invitation to bully your daughter, because they have the security that you got the abuser's back. You either punish her in private, or you punish both children. If you punish your daughter for hitting a bully, lecture her when she stands her ground, then what makes you think she won't be exploited by men? I was at a restaurant at the age of 13, and a drunk dude kept draping an arm around me. I asked him twice to stop, and when that didn't work I went to the cashier, who happened to be his wife, and told her to have the customer removed or I will call the cops. My mother was upset that I made a scene at a restaurant, and that I made the wife feel embarrassed. I felt uneasy, and for a while I let people mistreat me and just suck it up because making a scene is wrong. I got lectured for something that's not my fault, and it took a few years to finally let go of the idea that I did something wrong. Do not lecture or punish your daughter in front of others. Make them aware what they have done wrong in private, and carry the consequences in private. At least you are not giving the offender a free comedy show seeing you having your parent turn against you. Number 5, don't allow controllers or meddlers in her life just because she's a child and they are adults. You are responsible for her, not them. As a child I felt very uncomfortable when adults at home just opened my mail I received from friends, to read in them, and I was handed an open envelope. But I wasn't allowed to meddle with anything because I get snarky remarks such as "mind your own business." Your child should answer to no one except you. Number 6. Don't display greed in front of her. When she's enjoying a bag of crisps, then don't open your hand like a beggar and expect her to give you some as soon as she opens a bag of treats. If you want some yourself, then you should buy your own bag and leave her be. Daughters learn from you by observing you, not what you tell them, and if you behave this way then she will assume it's normal and expect others to share their treats with her. Or she will be the type of person who waits until she's home to have a peaceful meal. She should feel safe around you, and not feel like she needs to eat in private to avoid having anyone's hand in her bag of crisps. Sharing is not caring unless you are sharing wisdom. Unless a person denies you water, then you should keep that claim to yourself. Chips, sodas or sweets aren't as essential as water, so buy your own treats and don't touch hers. Number 7. Always give her a variable amount of options to choose from. We all know that the world is dangerous, but it was you who put her in this world, so the last thing you should do is moan about protection. Playing outside is paramount for her development, and she will increase dopamine in the most natural and best way, and you should always give her options. For example, she wants to play outside, you can say, "Play where I can see you," or "Wait until mommy is ready doing the chores and we'll go outside together." Giving her an option to choose from creates the same sensation of being treated like she's in control of her own life. It feels great choosing what you prefer the most instead of having restrictions shoved in her face. She will either grow up to think that being denied basic rights is normal, or she will worry humans and not want a relationship with them at all. She will not stand her ground when her rights are denied by men, and you are allowing her to be a doormat with no future. Number 8. Don't protect her physical body, but protect her rights instead. What I observed is that parents focus their dedication to protect their daughter's physical body, but act neglectful towards her increased depression. If you protect the physical body only, you will not only cripple her chance for survival, but you are inflicting health problems and physical damage. She will learn to hate you, and mourn the years lost forever. But if you protect her rights from other people, then you are protecting her the right way and protecting her rights to privacy, to play, to have her home as her safe haven will make her a happy individual. Protect her rights, then you are protecting her from predators, abusers, narcissistic men, because she has you. With you she can feel safe, and parents who protect her rights are the best parents for survival. Number 9. Ask always if she's ready before you do something to her. If she needs assistance or she allows you to assist, then always ask her, are you ready? She will be at ease that you double check before you do something to her. It gives her a safe feeling that she can say no, not yet, or yes ma'am, I am ready. Unless you are in a situation where you have to act fast, there is no excuse to proceed without asking her if she's ready. Before you operate, remember it's her body, not yours. You need to treat it with extra care. She will appreciate the question. Ready? So much that she will not only feel safe with you and with her boundaries, that she will also know that you won't let others cross her boundaries as well. I used to worry my elders in the family, because never once I was asked that simple question, and when men did things I wasn't comfortable with, I blamed myself because I didn't react right away. That I don't want such a thing. Number 10. Always plan ahead. Not only will it make her feel safe, but she will appreciate the gesture. As a child, I never wanted to play in the rain, because changing into something dry was cold and an unpleasant progress, mainly because other adults could just walk in without a heads up, so I never joined, or I never want to go swimming if I have no bathing suit with me, simply because nothing was planned ahead. Kids just have to deal with it, while adults weren't pressured into changing in front of the rest. When your daughter had a shower or played in the rain, keep her clean or dry clothing on the bed, and if you have a central warming in the bathroom, then leave a towel there to avoid the unpleasant cold sensation on the skin. Humans don't have a fur, so don't treat their bodies as such. And also make sure nobody comes in by simply locking the door until she's ready. You might think that kids don't need that level of privacy, but they do. The safety and your extra care to make sure leaving the shower is as comfortable as possible provides a feeling that they can trust you when they are at a vulnerable state. Like a doctor who makes an appointment as less invasive as possible will be appreciated more by the patients compared to doctors who have little regards about how you feel. People who are time-driven and just want to get things over with are the ones with children who don't have a good relationship. Planning ahead costs time, but you chose to have children. If you want to be time-driven, then purchase a dog. Dogs have no problem with that mentality, because all they care about is food and be walked outside few times a day. Raising a daughter costs time and delicate care. It is always important to put yourself in her shoes. How do you want to be treated when you have authority who you depend on for the next 18 years of your life? And my final tip for today: do not trick her. Unless it's to surprise her with a secret birthday party, don't do it. I enjoyed a candy bar, and a girl who never shares with me wanted one. I said no, because you never share your stuff either. Then my mother came and asked if she could have a candy bar, and I said yes, but it was a trick, and she gave it to the girl who never shared. It might seem silly, but I developed trust issues with her. My mother knew why I didn't want to share, but tricked me anyway. You need to understand that if you trick her, no matter how small, she will worry that you can trick her in serious situations. Always be honest, because what you do to her can be done to you as well. You are raising a compulsive liar, and she will lie to you, deceive you, and you have no right to complain, because when you play dumb games you will receive dumb rewards.